Good morning, everyone. We are about to start the session.
May I remind everybody to put your phone into discreet mode.
Please rise for the start of the session.
Morning everyone, welcome to our 36th regular session. This 36th regular session is now called to order. May I request Honorable Matutino to lead the prayer to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and the recitation of the Councilor's Creed.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of all creation, on this legislative session, we humbly ask your blessing to us legislators and all who collaborate in our works. Bestow us the abundance, share of wisdom, and a deep desire to serve the common good. May we bridge builders, help us to strengthen those bonds that unite a very diverse population. Encourage us to honor the innate dignity of human persons and inspire us to respect the differences in culture and experience that we traditionally strengthen our common life. May we, our families, be given a glimpse of fruit and flow from the sacrifices as we dedicate ourselves in pursuing the common good of our self-interest. We may ask of these things of you, O Lord, trusting that you are indeed the source of all that is good. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisigil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
I am a Philippine councilor, mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances that redound to the general welfare of my constituents and their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity. I believe in public service above self as a guiding principle of my official acts, and as I tread the pathways of local legislation, may the Almighty guide my mind and heart that I shall be true to my constituents and to the Filipino people.
Once again, good morning everyone and welcome to our 36th regular session dated September 7, 2020. At this point in time, I request our Secretary, Madam Lorraine Rello, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the roll call of attendance for this 36th regular session of the 8th City Council, dated September 7, 2020, Honorable John G. Gavina, City Vice Mayor, Presiding Officer.
Present.
Present. Honorable Jano Paulo P. Hinteles, present. Honorable Gregorio U. Duhali III, MPA MDMG, present. Honorable Attorney Divona Itsumamil, present. Honorable Emitter U. E. Blasi, present. Honorable Flopon Royal A. Catalan, present. Honorable Attorney Wendell M. Enad, present. Honorable Emmanuel G. Pamisaran, present. Honorable Dizon P. Namwag, MBA, present. Honorable Renante F. Bangoy, present. Honorable Wahid B. Ranain, present. Honorable Conrad Tudor A. Matutino, present. Honorable Dato Rodrigo A. Ambasan, present. And Honorable Danica Laika M. Charisma, present. There is a 100 in attendance, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. This 36th regular session is now in order and in quorum. At this point in time, I request our floor leader, Honorable Duhali, to facilitate our proceedings. Go ahead.
All right, nice morning. Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer and members of this August Chamber. At this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, let me pass a resolution dispensing the reading of the journal and minutes of the 35th regular session of the 8th City Council dated September 1, 2020. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Hinteles. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion dispensing the reading of the journal and minutes of the 35th regular session of the 8th City Council dated September 1, 2020 is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, in conjunction, Honorable Presiding Officer, let me pass a resolution for the approval of the journal and minutes of the 35th regular session of the 8th City Council dated September 1, 2020. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Matutino and Honorable Ambasan. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion on approving the journal and minutes of the 35th regular session of the 8th City Council dated September 1, 2020 is hereby carried.
Item number 7, we have the hour. Nobody wants to avail for the question R. Item number 8, we ask the presence of the following as requested by the Sangguniang Pangusod member, Honorable Dizon Namuag, MBA, in aid of legislation to shed light on ongoing road concreting and damages and drainage project of Barangay New Visayas and road maintenance from Tadeco Road going to Municipality of Santo Tomas. We requested the presence of Engineer Kuya Bernardo Rabanos Jr., the city engineer, and the district engineer Minda R. Rosalinda from the Department of Public Works and Highways, District 1, Tagum City. And we have Honorable Romeo S. Balon, I think the Barangay Captain of Barangay Numalitbog, represented by Honorable P.D. Kimpo, Barangay Kagawad, Honorable Darwin G. Lasquete, Barangay Kagawad o Barangay Nubisayas, and Miss Annalyn Ikoy Daanoy, complainant from Barangay Nubisayas. All right, to have this question hour on behalf of the from the Department of Public Works and Highways, Region 11, we have Engineer Ryan H. Melendres. And from the City Engineering Office, we have Miss Juan Loron Mazo. Enable for them to participate in our honorable session. Honorable Presiding Officer, let me pass a resolution suspending the House rules. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Hinteles, and Honorable Charisma, and Honorable Anain. Any comments, amendments? Sorry, for 2/3 votes for the suspension of the House rules. Can you, those who are in favor of the said motion, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Mr. President. For the suspension of the House rules, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Hinteles, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Charisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Ranain, Honorable Bangoy, and Honorable Pamisaran. All voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The motion suspending our House rules is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, at this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Dizon Namuag.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Namuag.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to greet our Vice Mayor a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Sir, happy
Advance.
birthday, sir. And all members of the City Council, the guests here, the invited representatives from different agencies, thank you very much for coming. Okay, so may I request from the invited guest who will be standing on the rostrum? Should it be from the DPWH?
We will, Mr. President.
Okay, go ahead.
We will
Honorable Ali.
first cater those complaining party.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I would like to recognize herein the complaining party here is for Darbeco area and Villarosa and Villa Felisa. We have here Honorable Darwin Lasquete, Barangay Councilor of New Visayas, were the officers of Darbeco village. We have also here Miss Daanoy, one of the complainants at the Eco area. We have also here from Barangay New Malitbog of Honorable Romeo Balon, represented by his kagawad. And with that, Your Honor, I am very much thankful for the presence of these invited complainants and the invited representative from DPWH and City Engineering.
Okay, who's gonna go first? New Visayas or New Malitbog?
Okay, may we request Barangay New Visayas first as the first topic that we're gonna have to discuss.
Okay. Honorable Lasquite or Miss Danoy?
Miss Honorable Lasquete, please.
Okay. Honorable Darwin Lasquite, Barangay Kagawad of Barangay New Visayas. You are now recognized by the chair. Good, sir.
Okay, good morning, our presiding officer, and
Good
to
morning.
the rest of the members of City Council. Good morning.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
can I go?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. As a barangay council of Barangay New Visayas, I noted the project from national. Uh, the concern of the area located at project site at Darbeco, and also me as personal as resident that area located. So nakita na mo ang project nga medyo naadyo siya diferensya. As being kagawad sa Barangay New Visayas, nakita na ko dito nga naagyo siya something wrong with the culvert nga ilang gibuhat dito nga area, kaya ang location sa sapa is lahi na gud siya. I have picture here nga akong ipakita nga ang culvert existing is 72 ang size, then ang ilahang gisumpay is 60 ang size sa culvert. So dili siya match. Kung ikaw ang engineer nga motan-aw, even though ako dili ko engineer, makakorek gani ko siya sa maong project kay di man gamay ang culvert nga gisumpay, nadako ang existing culvert. Then kanang area is bypass good siya, so it means daghan ang moagi after nga masiminto ang area. So mao to siya among gikuan gi-request sa DPWH nga kung mahimo i-box culvert siya, kay ang based sa among experience sa mga tao dito before nga 72 ang kadakon sa culvert, pag time nga mokusog ang ulan mo overflow gud siya. Sa ako personal sa akong balay moabot sa akong sala ang tubig. So muna siya Mr. Presiding Officer, gi-request na mo sa DPWH kung mahimo i-box culvert siya. So gilabi na po sa barangay sa among session. So pipila lang pod ang ni uyon sa ako ang gusto mahimo mahitabo. Then nag-submit ni resolution to the DPWH office regarding ani nga concern. Then nag-respond sila a few days after na-receive ang letter. Then gi-survey nila dito, gi-inspection ng area. Then with my council, nag-approve sila kay okay na daw ang box culvert. So niingon ko nga sa inyo ha, okay sa inyo ha, kay di mo mapiktuhan. Kami nga taga diri o ako nga taga diri makaingon ko nga di ko siya dapat i-culvert lang. Dapat i-change gud siya kay 40 years ago na gyud na siya ang culvert na wala na gi-change. Kung i-culvert man galing siya, dapat ikuan gud siya same size na ang location sa sapa is wag gyud siya pagtaod. Napay picture diri nga kuan is tako ang existing 72, ang gisumpay is 60. So makita nato diri is almost 1/4 or 1/2 sa culvert nga gisumpay na sulod sa existing 72 culvert. Then ang among question po is ang location sa exit nga culvert is na front siya atubangan sa buntod. So in case mo dako ang tubig na ay mosulod dito nga mga saging o mga unsa, mubara siya dito sa buntod. Kay tungod kay ang exit is wala siya proper located kung asa nag-agos ang exit sa sapa. So kung proper siya pagkataod, dili siya ingon nga mabara o mo-overflow ang tubig. So mo na siya among gi-request namo kung mahimo siya i-box culvert gud siya. Then I have a person nga nagperma dito nga dili gyud sila mo sugot nga i-culvert lang gihapon. So nakay mga perma diri from the person nga maapektuhan dito nga area. So ilang gi-request kung mahimo i-box culvert gud siya ang kato nga area, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Espite. Okay, Honorable Lamuwag.
Okay.
Sino yung pastoryaon sa ang complainant?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. May I ask Honorable Ascati, na naman mo'y discussion with the DPWH unsay output, unsay ilang response sa inyuha in relation to your complaint nga ang 72 round culvert gisumpayan og 60 round culvert. Og ikaduha, unsay ilang tubag in relation to your request kay box culvert. Kaya kung nakita magud karon po dito ning subay ko dito, Honorable Ascati, gitungtungan naman siya preparation para buhusan na bali siya og simento.
Correct.
So if you are trying to request for the replacement of the 60 round culvert nga gisumpay sa 72, murag wala na pag-asa until and unless we raise this complaint into this body. So can you transpire before this body kung unsay update sa inyong deliberation with the DPWH and other, kung meron man sa city engineering intervention?
Okay, good, Honorable Darwin.
Okay. Ang katong problema dito is isa ko nakabantay. Gitawagan ako dayon ang DPWH officer, si Engineer Melendres. Iko, sir, nganong na-prepare naman ni for buhos nga nag-request man mi nga ipinding ang site nga for box culvert na purpose ani. So ang giingon niya sa ako, gitext niya sa ako siya, cons niuyo naman ang mga tao og si kapitan ninyo regarding ana di nga problem. Inko nga paano siya nga ma-okay? Giunsa ninyo pagkabalo nga ni okay siya during atong ipatawag mi sa inyong kapitan ang mga tao. Ikaw kung nisugot ang mga tao nga na question mas ako karon nga nakakita sila nga ang area gi-frame for really for buhos. So siya nga tan-awa lang ang minutes dito cons. So during atong session namo gi-question nato sa amo ang barangay captain regarding ato siya nga cons ana man gud ang explanation nila cons nga ipadayon lang daw ang pagsimento, then in the future nga mag 4 lanes dito na daw siya i-box culvert kaya wala daw yung budget for this time. So niingon ko nga ipinding lang ana nga portion, di lang sa ikuan i-semento kay sayang pod ang budget nga i-semento na later on balbago nang dai siya kay for the purpose nga i-box culvert. So nahimo man gani siya before located area sa DDC nga wala pa budget for that area nga i-box culvert, so pasagdan lang siya after pila ka years nakakita og budget dito nagigo. So mo to ang kuan katong later nga among gi-forward sa office sa DPWH wala man sila response sa katong agency sa Dardico nga ilang gi-forward. Nakakuha lang ko response through sa ako ang pagtawag sa ilaha, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you, Honorable
Okay.
Darwin. Okay, Honorable Lamuag.
Okay. Thank you for that response. Pero na ako'y isa ka concern nga gusto ta nako maklaro. Naman kay complaint ngang 72 nga existing culvert nya karon gisumpayan og 60. Anya 60 round culvert lang. Then into your statement this time you made mention that the DPWH has made collaboration with the barangay captain and okay na daw ipadayon ang concreting. Later na lang po bali i-box culvert kung mag 4 lanes na. Akong punto, gusto lang po na ako mahibalaan po dunta unsay tubag sa taga DPWH relating to the existing 72 round culvert gisumpayan og 60 round culvert. It is within the scope of program of work or is it an alteration of program of work? Kato
Okay.
lang po, Mr.
Okay,
President.
thank you, Honorable Lamuag. Okay, Honorable Darwin.
Kaya ako magong pagsawat, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Kaya patungan naman nila bali og porma para magbuhos na. So it is my anticipation nga gidisregard nila ang reklamo ninyo nga 72 inch nga culvert gisumpayan og 60. So your complaint with that is not being answered.
Correct, correct.
Tama ba ko?
Yes po.
So malo pa na isang kong concern nga gusto na ko maklaro po on the part of the DPWH is the how to state it up, is the construction or the installation of the 60 round culvert, is it consistent with the program of work or an alteration of program of work?
Okay, kasi mo gusto pa tawagan na the DPWH.
Kung pwede po ang taga DPWH para diretso tabali sa complaint or concerns raised by Honorable Lasquiti.
Do you have any more questions to Honorable Desquite so we can proceed to our representative from DPWH?
Meron pa po rin, sir. Meron pa rin, sir. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, okay. That's one question for the DPWH. Pangalawa, we have meetings here with some barangay officials of New Visayas, especially with Honorable Lasquiti, relating to the intersection roads in the NEC at
Yes,
saka the
yes.
proposed diversion road. Wherein I saw the last time there na merong existing culvert kanang sa Manggahan palusot bali sa DNSC road. Then I raised to you some concerns na Honorable Lasquiti, please make a request on this because the culvert that has been installed therein, gamay na siya nga culvert, unya lalom kaayo. If you can request with the DPWH to have it, kay gisumpayan na magud po nila Mr. President. So kung unsa tong culvert nga existing dito, gisumpay ra po nila. And I see it murag displaced kid ang pagkabutang sa karaang culvert. So I was happy enough also with that kay maybe you have raised that questions with the DPWH. Ang katong nataod ninyo, nasumpay ninyo bali DPWH nga culvert, gitanggal ninyo og utro, karon gisumpaya kambihan ninyo bali og dagko nga culvert nya. Ready na siya karon. I hope then that that particular replacement is really within the scope of the POW.
So what's your question to Honorable Desquite?
Kato lang pod bali pod, Mr. President, is that another concerns how it happened then that they made that particular replacement. Ang ako magong point, Mr. President, before the preparation of the program of work with the DPWH, I suppose they have pooled of resources and engineers that have surveyed the area. Unsay diferensya, unsay kinahanglanon. Maybe they have undertaken surveys among the areas, within the area, how to go over about it. So, ang ako lang, nganong inaana lang gihapon, anang hitabo. Maramang I suppose DPWH are really equipped with the professional trainings in relation to those things. Kay kung basihon na ako, marag wala manggod bali preparation. Pasensya na po ha. Ngano inaani ang nanghitabo nga maghulat pa ta og reklamo. Okay?
Okay, we focus first all our questions to Honorable Desquite before we can proceed or all our questions to the DPWH. No? So if you don't have any questions to Honorable Desquite, so we can proceed to either to the complainant ba or to the DPWH.
Okay, yun lang po, Mr.
Do you have
President.
any more questions? City Council, do you have any more questions, Honorable Esquite, so we can proceed to other guests? Okay, go ahead, Honorable Leonard.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Just a few questions to our guest today, Honorable Lasquite. When you had these complaints as regards to the culvert, did any one of the members of the barangay council bring this matter before the August body of barangay New Visayas?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Esquite.
Okay. Thank you. Cons, first good ani ako good nakapansin ani nga problema concern. So ako ang nag-raise ani sa council sa amo sa barangay. Gi-question na ako ang infra committee. Cons, unsa imuhang response ani nga problema nga concern nga naabot sa ato karon sa mga taga dito nga apektado sa area. So ako ang nag-request ato nga pagbuhat og resolution, Madam Secretary, para sa DPWH nga concern nato diri nga kuan nga area. So ako ang naglabi ato, then murag wala kay siya nahatagan og take action kay dugay siya. Niabot pa siya 2 months. So moto siya nga akong gibuhat ako kung inani man galing magbuhat na lang ko og letter direct dito sa mga agency nga pwede nga ma-requestan sama sa diri sa inyuha, then sa DPWH og sa kay Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Leonard.
Since I have been allowed to make queries with our guest, Mr. President. Now, when you bring the matter before the barangay council, what was the outcome? What was the action of the barangay council? Was there any resolution requesting the Department of Public Works and Highway with respect to the complaints?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Darwin.
So kato nga matter siya cons is nag-request ni letter sa DPWH office, then after a few days nag-adto sa office namo ang taga DPWH si Engineer Melendres. So giadto namo ang site nga area. So ang nakuha nako ato kay almost sa akong kauban sa barangay council, ni approve sila, ni okay sila sa kato nga project nga gibuhat na. Kaya nakita, gisurvey man namang area nga apektado. So nakita nila nga ingon sila cons, okay naman ni cons nga culvert cons, okay na ni siya. So mo to siya action sa amo sa kuan, gisurvey namang area.
Mr. President,
Okay, go ahead.
allow me to rephrase my query. Was there a resolution coming from the Barangay Council of New Visayas requesting for appropriate action for that particular matter as regards to the complaints?
Wala siya resolution nga na-come up cons.
Wala.
Oh,
So,
only later requests.
did the Barangay Council of New Visayas also write a letter addressed to the Sangguniang Panglungsod of Panabo so that this matter could have been properly addressed to a proper committee? May
Okay.
we know from our
Okay,
guest?
good, Honorable Lasquite.
So our barangay in Visayas wala siya nag-request on presiding officer.
Okay, no resolutions. Okay,
Oh,
good,
no
Honorable
resolution
Leonard.
and no request letter. Only the person nga taga Darvdico, GKK President and the homeowner sa Darvdico ang nag-request ato.
Mr.
Okay,
President,
okay,
one
thank
more
you.
question.
Okay, good, Honorable Leonard.
I am propounding this question, Mr. President, because this matter could have been properly addressed to before the proper committee of this August body, before the committee on infra or by the infra, Mr. President. So that's why I am humbly asking the all the barangays if matters like this will crop up, this should be properly addressed to the Sangguniang for proper referral to the proper committee for proper and appropriate action. Because here, the problem here is that we should have invited the presence of the Punong Barangay. The Punong Barangay now is left with no choice, no? They cannot answer the allegations, the declarations of the complaint. They cannot answer precisely because they were not informed and invited. With that, Mr. President, I move that this matter be referred to the proper committee for proper action.
Honorable Ranain.
Okay, Honorable Ranain.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and to our presiding officer. Good morning to our visitor. Just like to ask the councilor from Barangay New Visayas concerning with his statement a while ago that when he noticed that the area is about to be cemented or na-overlay na siya og purma, then he communicated with the DPWH, and the DPWH responded to him that the matter has been settled with the barangay captain. So may I ask the barangay councilor if he made mention about the minutes kanina, what particular meeting happened with the barangay council o ang DPWH na nagkaraon man og minutes together with the stakeholder? Are you informed, being the barangay councilor also and being the person who is working on it para masettle ang problema?
Okay, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Ano siya, Cons, kato nga meeting is invited ang mga first sa front sa area nga maigo sa widening. Then ang naato ang DPWH nga engineer, si engineer naa si ato. So nangutana ko siya sa yang response sa ako ang Cons, paki-check lang didto sa minutes sa atong meeting namo tong Wednesday morning. So ako ato wala may mag-invite ato, wala may gi-invite ato nga naa na gipahitabo nga patawag ang mga tao nga maapektuhan sa widening. So pag-asa ko secretary, wala pa siya gihatag sa ako ang attendance o minutes pud ato nga time. So by next session na mo mahatag sa among secretary.
Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Honorable Ranain.
Thank you. With that, Mr. President, I would like to support the motion of the Honorable Wendell Inad to later on move this matter to the proper committee, considering also, Mr. President, that the barangay captain makuhaan po nato siya og opinion with regard to the particular meeting that happened to the stakeholders and the barangay. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Ranain. Any more questions to Honorable Asquite before we proceed? Okay, wala na. Okay, thank you kayo, Honorable Darwin Asquite, no? So, who's next, Honorable Lamuwak?
Miss Daanoy. Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Asquite.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning.
Regarding sa concern nga mong ipaabot kabahin sa ongoing na construction sa kalsada, then sa portion man good sa amo ang balay sa Daplin, na siya'y dati-dati na medyo dako gud na siya na sapa. Then karon ang gi-replace na lang is culvert na dati, Mr. Chairman, is culvert box. Then ang concern namo manggod ana sa karon sa pagtaod nila sa culvert box, originally wala gyud na siya nagsubay sa dati niya nga giagian. Ang bangga manggod sa tubig kung kusog ang flow sa amua. Then ang amon tang request ana, dugay naman gud wala na limpyuhan ang kanal siya kibali, which is under the city magud na siya. Ang ano na mo, malimpyuhan unta siya ba? Kay kung karon man good na panahon, wala siya ulan, okay, pero pag mag-ulan, sa amo man good ang flow, kay gamay na lang ang kanal, kibali niya na
Yeah.
maagian sa tubig.
This
Which
is
is,
the same
kana
question.
po nga culvert, gamay lang siya sa karon. Originally, culvert box.
Okay.
All right, Honorable President.
Okay, Honorable Dolly.
That's the same argument with the previous question asked by the honorable proponent. I think the issue had already been discussed, and it should be replied by the Department of Public Works. Yeah.
Okay. Mao lang na imong concern, ma'am, no?
Yes, Mr.
Na
President.
apektado ka after the concreting? Tama ba?
Opo.
Okay. Okay, any more questions sa atong complainant before we proceed?
Okay, so actually I just want to stress the concern of Miss Ikoy Daanoy. That's another canal or drainage, pero similar concern lang po kasi canal gihapon ang istoryahan. Pero lahi na nga area dihan adapita sa Monica subdivision. Katong kagay na kay Las Kitty is dito sa DNAC or Goodin area. So kaya lang almost similar concerns.
Okay. Sige, any more questions to Miss Daanoy?
Wala na ba'y problema diyan, Ms. Danoy? The last time, as to your concern, yung realignment of the roads to your property, wala na ba to? Okay na to?
Since nakausap ko na po si Engineer Melindres, Your Honor.
So okay na to?
Opo, opo.
Kanal lang kanal ni mo hang problem.
Opo.
Okay. Okay, any more? Okay, go ahead, Honorable Banggoy.
Thank you. To ma'am.
Yes, good morning po.
This canal is dinhiman ni sa may Monica, no?
Yes po,
Monica.
palabas po ng
And
Kabalunan.
this drainage will be going to our public cemetery.
Opo,
Padulong, no?
opo.
Okay. So, based on the status on this drainage, kami naman gud mi nagian po to sa drainage po dito. The problem of that drainage is mo overflow yun na siya. It's because kay dako ang volume na moagi din ha sa inyo ha, no? Dinigikan sa ibabaw padulong dinhi. So ang status ba karon based on the succeeding rainy season last 2 months ago, did you experience na naga-overflow gud siya?
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead, ma'am.
nakita.
Maabot jud siya sa amo ang kusina.
Okay.
Sumusunod gid sa balay.
Opo.
Good sa inyo.
Okay.
So, thank
Okay,
you,
go ahead,
ma'am.
Honorable Banggoy.
That's all, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. So any more questions to Miss Daanoy?
Wala na po, Mr.
Sana.
Chairman.
Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am, no?
Thank you po.
Okay,
Okay.
we'd like to proceed, no? From DPWH Honorable Lamuak.
Okay,
Naman.
before going through, Mr. President, I just want to make a wrap up with my concern with New Visayas.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, just a certain overview because it happens like this. We had just recently a heavy rains. I suppose it happens mga Friday.
Last week.
Last week, oo. Honestly, sir, isa rin talaga akong apektado. Okay? Because our property, my house is nearby the NEC. So, as I noticed kasi, sir, part of my complaint here is that I was wondering with the land preparation of the road concreting, kasi yung mga canals was being covered, damaged, or whatsoever during the time of land preparation. So I just do not know that until this time, na almost 80% or 90% complete na yung road concreting, wala talaga siyang tentative or temporary canal excavation para may running flow ang tubig. Kaya last time, nung nag-heavy rain talaga, actually it's not only my house naging affected. Kaya nga, I made a request na lang talaga with my staff I suppose I was asking him to make it a privilege. Hindi na lang, sir. We have to call up with our city mayor city mayor's office to act on it immediately, and it was really acted immediately. Nagpadala og bako para ma-address ang problema dito sa Villa Felisa. Pero dito ra pud sa Villa Felisa nga area ang gikanalan. Diri repita sa among area wala until this time. And to tell frankly with this body, yung tubig manggod nga nagaadto sa among area gikan dito sa Purok Uno, just unahan ganis Barangay Hall sa New Visayas. That is more likely 300 houses nga mga we would really consider na marag very challenged houses ng tubig nila dihang gadagaran sa amo is itom jud sa tinuod lang. So at the time nga nagbaha, that's why I really made this particular opportunity to ask before this body and to really call the attention of DPWH. And as I talk also with Honorable Asciti, sir, wala gid sila itubag nga klaro pag gid siya until this time. So that is why it's not actually intruding the rights of the other barangay councils, but sabi kasi ni Honorable Asciti, wala magidaw sila itubag, so that is why I am addressing before this particular body.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Wagnes. We just want to make it clear, no? We have two issues here, no, about the box culvert ug sa kanal, no? So we will ask the DPWH, no? Okay, maybe the canal is not under the DPWH but under the local government of Panabo. So we could proceed one by one. First about the box culvert. So because maybe it's unfair to the DPWH, no, kung sila to pasangin lang sa kanal na wala man sila, no, city road day na, so wala naman atong city engineer dere, no, kay naman sa last week kuman siya. So we'll proceed sa ato ang DPWH. Go ahead, sir. From DPWH wala representative from DPWH. Sir, we will ask first about the problem about the box culvert, no, as requested by Honorable Kagawa Darwin Lasquite, no, before we proceed sa ato ang kanal. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Engineer Ryan Melendres from DPWH Regional Office 11. About dito sa atong box culvert nga request ng barangay, nag-inspection kami together with our planning division sa area. Then nakita namo siya nga pwede namo siya okay ang i-grant ang ilahang request na box culvert. Kay nakita namo dito sa babaw sa mapa nga daghan sa pa ang magtigom nga tubig, so dako siya nga volume. So ang problema lang namo karon is wala siya nasulod sa karon nga budget. So ang naman may proposed by next year na 4 lanes diri sa may bypass na to. So kung pwede giingnan namang barangay nga dito na nato isulod ang budget anang box culvert sa 4 lanes na to.
Ang box culvert dito sa Query Honorable Lasquite.
Yes, sir. Dalawang sir, dalawang area, yung sa may kay Ilamam o kay Ilaka Konsehal.
Okay.
Ang ilahang request letter nagpasa man ang barangay og resolution requesting for box culvert. So ang himuon namo karon i-as-built lang namo ang nahuman namo nga project, then i-attach namo tong ilang resolution for proposal para sa 4 lanes atong propose nila nga box culvert.
For record purposes, sir, there is no box culvert in the program of works.
Sir?
So sa program of works wala gi box culvert, but kano lang
wala, sir. Ang nabutang ditong area na to, ang sa as per approved plans ang as per approved plans na to, nakabutang manggod na to dito is existing 60 60 inches diameter RCPC. So ang nabutang sa mo ang as per plan, sir, extend the existing one line 60 inches diameter.
So mo na ang program of works.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
mo tong gibuhat namo, nag-extend na lang mi dito sa existing. Kaya nakita namo karon sa area kung i-box culvert relocate talaga ang sir ang line nato sa culvert. Bali
Okay.
ma-transfer siya og location gamay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Honorable Lamuak, return.
Okay, before going through with this, thank you very much, sir. Before going through with this, may I ask the DPWH representative, sir, before making the program of work, have you made any collaboration with any personnel from the LGU of Panabo City relating the project? Or also from the barangay?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Before sa amo ang detailed engineering design, ang amo ang planning section nag-agi maguna sa LGU ug sa barangay, sir, before sila mag-survey, before mo come up sa plan.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, sir, I was the former barangay captain kasi ng New Visayas. And I know really the problems therein. Diha gyud nga area, ila kay Ikoy o kanang kay Gudin. Gina-rescue gani ng taga Dardeco kung naay heavy rains. Now, karon po, sir, pasensya na. Gipatawag mo namo dire kay murag I feel really urgent. Kay nagbaha the last time, paano kung inyang gabi mag-heavy rains na po, wala gi preparation nga tubig, agianan sa tubig na mo dito. So manang pasensya na gipatawag ta ka diri, sir, ha? So ako ang concern, sir. You made mention nga ipadayon ninyo as belt. Okay? I would assume that 100 meters is equivalent to 1 million cost of road concreting for the 2 lanes. Tama ho ba, sir?
Okay, good, sir.
Based sa na mo, sir, sa may amo ang program of works, by ang amo ang cost sir is almost 1,000 plus per square meter man mi, sir,
Okay.
sa concrete.
Okay, Mr. President, thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay, may I request in your side, sir, being the representative ng DPWH, kung ipadayon magud ninyo ang pagpasiminto ibabaw sa culvert, sir, it will come out to be too expensive again for the construction of 4 lanes. Nganuman, magbungkag na pod mo, mag-charge na pod mo destruction, demolition bali sa road concreting on top of the culvert. So why not pending muna the construction of the road, concrete road, i-extend mo ng budget ito sa unahan baka dapita sa Cabaluna Road. Kay ako agad, sir, it will even more costly on the part of the next contractor to be demolishing the road concreted, then ibungkago na pud to bali tong culvert sa ilalom. To that effect then, marag magugwala magoy mawala, sir. That is what I did the last time with the DNS road. I requested the city engineering kasi na may sapa diha mo na gigawasan gikan anang river. Kaya ang gi-propose bali ni Engineer Olandia the last time was also wala lang, diretso lang gid bali ang road concreting. So I requested, sir, Engineer Glenn, pwedeng i-defer muna ang pag-concreting on top bali sa sapa. Kasi I really request box culvert kay sayang man gud, sir, kung magsige naman ang tagpakanal o sige man lang put og pasiminto unya bungkagon ra pud later. So mo tong the last time gi-grant bali ni Engineer Olandria, gipending muna ang pila ka meters, mga 10 meters para bali sa box culvert construction. So maybe in that way, sir, mahimo pa nato sa imo para pud walay malugi o walay mawala nga kwarta sa gobyerno. I-extend muna natin sa ibang area yung road concreting nimo dito baka dapitas Cabaluna Road o Panginoon Biabida. Then pending mo na yung dalawa bali dyan culvert, Bishop say kanal. Kung okay na, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Sir,
Honorable
sir.
Lamuak. Okay, go ahead, sir. Pwede ba na yung ana?
Sir,
Actually, sir,
After,
sir, may
okay, Honorable Dolly.
let me remind this honorable chamber that according to our rules of procedures, that in the relation and comments of the proponent or the question, at the end of each question, we have only we are subjected to a 10-minute rule. Yep. Let's be brief and concise to this question and
All
answer.
the-
Okay.
Yeah. Specific questions? No, we only have 1 hour. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Actually, sir, atong concern, sir, is gi-open na namo an atong last consultation meeting with the affected area, sir. Atong last nga meeting namo sa barangay. Together with barangay, city engineers, and affected area dito sa the said areas. Ang body ang ipa-decide namo sa ila, sir, kay ang first namo nga proposal is igap na lang namo, sir, kay dili man namo siya maka-box culverts karon, so igap unta namo to ang PCCP. So ang decision sa body, ipa-decision sila ni kapitan, ang gusto sa body is ipa-concreting mangod, sir.
Okay.
Mo
So-
to ang nabutuhan sa mga tao dito tanan nga i-proceed ang concreting, bahalag tanggalon na pod pag 4 lanes for box culvert.
So, katong gi-request yung Honorable Nuwag, pwede to dili, if ever. Ano man na yung pending questions.
Pwede man to, sir, kay i-reflect naman namo sa as-built, sir.
Okay. Okay, go Honorable Nuwag.
Okay. Ako lang concern katong gireklamo ni Honorable Lascati, sir. Yung size 72 na existing culvert tapos gisumpayan og 60 culvert, is it within the scope of program of work?
Yes, sir. Ang base sa approved plans namo, sir, is existing 60 inches diameter. So pag sukat namo siya sa area, ang existing culvert dito, sir, is alanganin sa 72, sobra po siya sa 60. So gisunod na lang namo ang approved plans.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, go Honorable Nuwag.
Actually, sir, murag kung sa giyon nimo baling murag alanganing 72, alanganing 60, tapos gisumpayan nimo og 60, murag nigamay na nun ang entrada sa tubig. So if there were lots really of flooding in the area, mas na posibilidad yun, as I would like to assume, sir.
O kani kay ang ano namo, nag-alanganin pod mi, so para di mi malanganin ano na lang mi sa approved plans, sir.
Okay.
60 maganda na butang sa approved plans nato.
So I suppose may suggestion, Mr. Sir Noli, na i-differ muna natin yung road concreting on top sa kanal para madali-dali siguro na ito mabox culvert soon.
Pwede, sir. Ano lang nato, letter siguro, sir, sa opisina namo.
Okay. So,
Okay.
can I ask, Mr. President, another one?
Also from DPWH also?
Yes, sir. Also, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Doon ka last question ako, sir. Ha? Una, sir, bali is katong kanal, sir, nga natabunan as far as the land preparation, sir. Is it that part of the preparation of the program of work to make some particular canal excavation in apprehension for possible flooding in the area kay natabunan na maging mga kanal, sir? Dili ba siya appeal sa preparation sa POW?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Bale, based sa mo ang approved plan, sir, na may kanal na i-install sa area. As of now, we are ongoing for the excavation of canal, sir.
Okay.
So, semento, then kanal.
Yes, sir.
Tama. Okay,
Bale,
good.
ang
Honorable.
nag-priority lang kami sa semento, then pero as of now, we are ongoing na kami sa excavation sa kanal.
So, what's the status? Sementohon siya, then mag-imo kanal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go Honorable Nuwag.
Okay, may I request from the DPWH, actually pila nakabulan na baling giguba gitabunan ang kanal, sir. Actually lang, okay lang man siguro on your part kay dili magud ka mo'y maapektahan. Maskin temporary lang sa nga agianan sa tubig, sir. Kay maskin pa isurvey nimo na karon, sir, diha atubang unahan sa eskwelahan sa New Visayas, paingon dito. Wa na gyud kanal tong among kaagianan sa tubig dito, sir. Mo nang ang tubig gikan dito sa Purok Uno sa New Visayas nga itom-itom ang kanal, murag di gyud lalay mo adto sa imong nataran.
Yes, sir. Noted lang, sir. Ano
Okay
lang naman
lang.
dito, sir.
Okay, so my last question, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Namoy culvert nga gi-install. I'm very much thankful nga namoy culvert gi-install sa intersection gani sa Quireno Street. That's road from Panabo to Dato Abdul and the core intersection with New Visayas Elementary School. Ang taga dito sa kanto, diha magpudapita, sir, pag-agi na ko dito, wako kabalo na may gitaon nga culvert. nagingon nga, sir, unsa man nila pagkataod Beles Culvert, murag lalom daw kaayo. Unsa man naba daw po'y kanal himuon sa Quirino Street, pagawas dito sa paingon sa Panabo, o to connect bali sa Purok Uno. Kay wa may kanal dis unahan, sir. Katong paingon sa Dato Abdul, wa may kanal. Pero naay culvert nga giatang ninyo. So naba na siya kanal diha?
Actually, sir, ang nga culvert manggod siya, sir, is wala na siya. Kato sa may crossing na sa ano,
Yes
sir?
po, yes po, opo.
Actually, wala manggod na siya sa plano na mo, sir. It is requested ra sa mo, sir, nga butangan na mo culvert diha kay ang as per plan na mo, wala manggod siya kanal padulong dito sa may Panabo Highway.
So just a preparation lang for kanal.
Namay gi-request manggod mi as per requested by Engineer Abanos po, sir, nga pabutangan na lang cross the rain daw diha, sir.
Okay, that's
Kay
good.
para na outlet po daw ang kay na, sa other side naman gud may kanal, sir. So ang outlet ang padulong sa Panabo wala sa mga program na siya, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the
Thank you. Okay,
installation.
any more?
So wala na po, sir. So ako lang hangyo lang gyud ko, sir, nga mabutangan og temporary kanal dito sa among area kay basig muulan unyang gabi magdagayday na patong tubig nga itom sa among balay, sir.
Okay, noted,
Okay
sir.
lang.
Noted.
Sige, salamat.
Nahalang
kayo,
na
sir.
ila Honorable Daanoy. Pwede man na maulahi basta sa konsyal.
Okay lang.
Yep.
Okay, iklaro lang nako niha. It's not actually encroaching the rights and of the Barangay Council of New Visayas, but I simply addressed the urgency of the request of Honorable Ascati because I myself was a victim. And pila lang ka days gyud ang na-experience nako nga nakabaha. Then basig masundan na pud og baha. Manang
Yeah.
pasensya na po on the part of the Barangay Council. That really is that I call for this urgency. Salamat po.
Okay na? Okay, any more? Who's next?
Honorable Pamisaran. would
Okay,
like to
Honorable
say
Pamisaran.
something.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe that all the issues in concern raised with regards to the issue on Barangay New Visayas was answered already by the representative from the DPWH. In order for us to close this issue, since we have a pending recommendation that this matter will be referred to committee, but I believe it has been already discussed and agreed by the both party or anybody concerned. I move that this matter, in order to close.
You're gonna move this after the resumption of the rules.
We are still on ano?
Resumption of the rules.
Okay.
Okay, any more? Sabay next. Sabay line. Any visitors from
New Malit po.
DPWH?
Okay, sa inyo malit po, sir.
The star for no reason.
Mr. President,
Okay, go ahead.
may I also speak in behalf also of the barangay captain and Honorable Kagawad of New Malitbog. Actually, as raised by also, it is really the complaint direct from Kapitan Balon. One complaint there is the very absence of warning devices sa mga construction ng DPWH. Wherein daghan na daw kay na disgrasya, moadto sa ilang barangay. Ikaduha, ang box culvert that has been initially constructed, pila na kabulan, na daw pila kasimana nga way magtrabaho. So until when ito matapos, nga walay warning device. Ikatulo, yung mga putol-putol nga kalsada dito nga gisiminto ninyo kinsa ba na sa kontraktor, or pila kabulan na di gyapon mga human. Even sa entrance sa ilang barangay hall, wala gina mahuman, sir. So, I just do not know then kung ang DPWH supervisor or foreman is supervising the area or the construction of the contractor. Kay lisod kaayo gyud, sir. Maskin ako, the last time,
So,
hapit po ko na
basically na
disgrasya.
buwan na muwag mo na para mapaspas na, no? So, specific na lang. Mo na ang tulo ka
Yes.
complaints. Okay. Go ahead, sir. From the DPWH, state your name before you answer that question.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, honorable councilors, observers, visitors. I am Aris Oseti. I am a project engineer from the DPWH District Engineering Office. Ang project i-discuss ganihan, number 1, kay implemented to sa DPWH Regional Office. Kani karon atong diskussan ang sa District Office. So katong sa complaint ni Sir Kagawad kaganiha, noted na to namo sir. Prior pa ani naga-discuss namin ni Sir sa iyahang problema. Though dili man na kani nga complain ang ako ang gianhi. Pero total ako mangyapo in charge dito. Ako na lang pun tubagon. Kato siya sir, noted na namo tong problema nga natay kakulangan sa shouldering dito no, o ang slow performance sa contractor. Well, in fact, last Thursday, gi-invite na sila sa among opisina, gidiskussan ang ilahang performance. Nya nagrihan na mo nga within this week, mag-provide sila additional resources na as nabutang nila sa FLEDS nilang equipment sa among kontrata. So, tinuod nga ang obserbasyon ni Sir Councilor na ato, pero karon nga week target nga aksyonan na siya nga project sir. Do dapat man unta sa una pa, pero mo lagi tungod sa daghan nila nga mga rason pod, naagrihan na mo nga by this week mag full force sila og trabaho dito. Ikaduha katong warning sign sir, nakita man namo nga naay labi na sa box culvert ngayong gingon naa may mga warning signs na gibutang atong mga kontraktor. Daghan lang gyud pod area nga nangawala tungod siguro wala ma-maintain sa kontraktor or nadaot sa ubang mga lumalabay. Pero sige lang sir, amo nang i-maintain nga project ang warning signs kay importante makay na sa tua. Ang kanang box culvert pod sir, tinuod nga nalangay na kay ang tinuod wala na siya labot sa ato ang project na tungod sa request sa ni Mayor o sa Engineer Rabanos nga trabahoon na lang pud na amo nang gipangitaan og nag-variation mi para ma-repair na siya nga box culvert kay hangyo na pud ni Kagawad nag-abot mi didto.
Mo man nabungkag no.
Mo nang nabungkag sir, pero ang tinuod wala na sila labot sa project. Maong dugay sir kay ang kontraktor nagpaabot sa mua nga ma-approve ang variation order. Una nila i-full blast og trabaho. And then approve na ang variation order last week, Monday if I remember. So murag mauna na karon nanay mga bakal yata gani dito. Do maskin pag wala siya nag-approve, sige sila ginahinay og trabaho para kung naa na ang approval at least kabalos na naman may target daan nga initial nga drawing sir nga ang isa lang among trabahoon kay ang isa i-condemn naman gid siya. So karon kay approve na, we expect nga mag full blast namin dito nya kung makita nato na nagani siya yung mga bakal ang uban ug forma.
Okay, thank you sir. Any more?
Okay, thank you. If that would be the case, sir. Ako lang yung hangyo, sir, kay wala ba manubag yun kung kinsa madisgrasya diha sa mga construction sa DPWH. Kung dili personal, dili biya kamo ang DPWH contractor o taga DPWH personal yun isa sir. Then last question, Mr. President.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It has been observed for how many times nag-adto kog laing lugar, even to some remote areas, road concreting and road maintenance, mga shoulder, even in Mati, Davao Oriental, murag limpyo man kayo ang mga shoulders nila sir. Niya sa Panabo Manggod, dili inana ka well maintained ang mga shoulders nato as to grass cutting. And knowing then, I suppose Davao del Norte is mas dako kaysa uban baling probinsya. Pangutana lang ko sir, ngano ingon ana sa Davao del Norte sir, dili inana ka maintainado ang mga shoulders.
We'll focus lang Honorable Lamuwag katong sa ato ang problem.
That's the last concern lang ako guys.
Ilang we'll focus first on your complaint. Pakapin na lang muna.
Oh yeah,
pakapin
na lang.
Any more questions? Focus on your questions sa ato ang complaint lang, no? To be fair sa ato ang DPWH.
Wala na pa akong tanawa. Yun na ba lang tanawa?
After session or So we'll just focus sa ato ang complaints lang. Wala man na appeal ang complaints sa ato ang grass cutting.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions? No more? Any more questions regarding sa imong complaint?
Okay, as far as to my complaints and the complaint of the Barangay New Malitbog and Barangay New Visayas, I have no more questions. I do hope lang, sir, that the questions and concerns will be addressed as soon as possible. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Luwag. Okay, any more from the August body? No more. So we'll do resolution referring this to the committee.
No, I think Mr. President, may I?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Duali.
I think the query of Honorable Dishonorable had already been answered well by the representative coming from the Department of Public Works and Highways, and also from the complaining persons like Honorable Asquete, Honorable Kimpo, and Ms. Danoy. Now, therefore, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, can we do acknowledge the Honorable Pamisaran?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Pamisaran.
Thank you, Mr. President, and to our majority floor leader.
Okay, let me interrupt, Honorable.
Okay, good.
Let me pass a resolution for the resumption of the House rules.
It was so by Honorable Duali, duly seconded by Honorable Mami, Honorable Crisma, Honorable Inteles. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion restoring our House rules is hereby duly carried and approved.
At this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Pamisaran.
Okay, good, Honorable Pamisaran.
Again, thank you, Mr. President, and to our majority floor leader. Hearing the presentation, Mr. President, I would like to pass a resolution taking cognizance to the statement of the complainants. We have Honorable Darwin Laskiti. We have also Honorable Kimpo, and we have Madam Annalyn Daanoy, and also the statement coming from the DPWH representative in the person of Engineer Ryan Milindres and Engineer Daryl Winis, Mr. Chair.
Okay, it was by Honorable Misaran, duly seconded by Honorable Duhali, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Ranain, and Honorable Blase. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion taking cognizance the comments now for visitors is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right,
Okay, Honorable Duali.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, that was the contention of Honorable Dizon Amuag. Now, therefore, for that measure regarding the box culvert located at Barangay New Visayas will be referred to the Committee on Public Works and Highways and Parks and Plaza. I so po, Mr. President.
To by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Matutino. Any comments, amendments, objections? No, wala. Yun. Hearing none, the motion referring this matter to the Committee on Infrastructure is hereby duly carried and approved.
Item number 9 for the reading and referral of the proposed measure. Can you do acknowledge the Secretary to the Sangguniang?
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. For the reading and referral of proposed measures, we have 10 calendared items under petitions, requests, and other communications, and we have none under proposed ordinance and proposed resolution. C.1, Appropriation Ordinance Numbers 1 Series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020 Supplemental Budget Number 1 of Barangay San Roque, Panabo City, amounting to 329,927 pesos.
Item C.1 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.2, Appropriation Ordinance Number 7, Series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020 Supplemental Budget Number 2 of Barangay San Francisco, Panabo City, amounting to 60,070 pesos and 60 centavos.
Item C.2 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.3, letter from Jose E. Relampago, City Mayor, dated August 28, 2020, endorsing the request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 5,875 pesos of the City Health Office under maintenance and other operating expense.
Item C.3 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.4, letter from Jose E. Relampago, City Mayor, dated August 28, 2020, endorsing the request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 130,000 pesos of the communicable and non-communicable disease control program of the City Health Office under the locally funded projects.
Item C.4 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.5, letter again from O.C.E. Relampago City Mayor dated August 28, 2020, endorsing the request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 38,750 pesos of the City Information Office under the City Mayor's Office under maintenance and other operating spends.
Item C.5 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.6, letter from yours truly dated September 1, 2020, requesting for augmentation ordinance in the amount of 568,000 pesos of the Legislative Network and Tracking Program of the Sangguniang Panglungsod Office under the locally funded projects. This is certified urgent.
Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, can we do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Anain?
Honorable Anain is recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Floor Leader, and good morning to everyone. Mr. President, due to its urgency, I move that the item C.6 be transferred to the unassigned business. I so move, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Duhali, Honorable Ambasan, and Honorable Pamisaran. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion transferring item C.6 to the unassigned business is hereby duly carried and approved.
C.7, letter from Pedrito E. Misoles, MAED, City Administrator, dated September 1, 2020, forwarding the list of 120 qualified and eligible applicants for the Scholar ng Lungsod program of the City Government of Panabo for school year 2020 to 2021 for confirmation. This is also certified urgent.
Honorable Presiding Officer, can we do acknowledge Honorable Maui Pamisaran?
Okay, good. Honorable Pamisaran.
Again, thank you, Mr. President, and to our Majority Floor Leader. Mr. President, I move that this item, say C.7, will be transferred and be included in the unassigned business due to its urgency, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Pamisaran, duly seconded by Honorable Duhali. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion transferring item C.7 to the unassigned business is hereby duly carried and approved.
For C.8, letter from O.C.E. Relampago City Mayor dated August 20, 2020, endorsing the following for appropriate action. Item A, Local Health Board Resolution Number 8 Series of 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panglungsod for an appropriate action on the amendment of the City Ordinance Number 39 Series of 2012, institutionalizing the pre-marriage counseling program of the City of Panabo, adopting the revised pre-marriage orientation and counseling program implementation guidelines of 2018,
Item letter B, okay na?
Item A.
Item C.8 to be referred to the Committee on Social Services.
Women, Children, and Family.
Sorry.
Item
Please continue. Item C.8A to be referred to the Committee on Social Services. Committee on Women, Children, and Family.
For item B, Local Health Board Resolution Number 09 Series of 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panglungsod for appropriate action on the amendment of Article 26, Section 205 of the City Ordinance Number 02 Series of 2013, or the Code of Administrative Ordinances.
Item C.8B to be referred to the Committee on Social Services.
C.9, letter from O.C.E. Relampago City Mayor, dated August 25, 2020, requesting authority to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Agreement between the City of Panabo and its respective 40 barangays concerning the support of the city on the functionality of the Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Councils and implementation of anti-illegal drug-related programs, activities, and operations in the barangay level.
Item C.9 to be referred to the Committees on Peace and Public Safety and Anti-Drug Abuse and Finance and Appropriations.
And C.10 letter from Jose E. Relampago, City Mayor, dated September 3, 2020, requesting for authority to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Agreement between the City Government of Panabo and Philippine Red Cross involving the grant of financial assistance to the latter in the amount of 200,000 pesos for years 2019 and 2020.
Item C.10 to be referred to the Joint Committees on Finance and Appropriations and Laws, Justice, and Human Rights, Fact-Finding, and Investigation.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, for item number 10, we are now on the committee reports. We have 24 items. And first, let me pass a resolution dispensing the reading of this committee reports. I so move, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion dispensing the reading of the 24 committee reports is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, the first to deliver his committee report for his omnibus committee reports, Honorable Presiding Officer, please recognize the distinguished gentleman from Barangay New Visayas, Honorable Wahid Ranay.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Ranay.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you, Mr. Floor Leader. Mr. President, I would like to pass an omnibus resolution adopting committee report number 107, series of 2020, Committee on Finance and Appropriation regarding CDC resolution number 12, series of 2020, recommending for approval of the Sangguniang Panlungsod the integration of the priorities identified by the local school board per LSB resolution number 4, series of 2020 to the updated local development investment program calendar year 2019 to 2021. I so move and report number 108, Mr. President, series of 2020 Committee on Finance and Appropriation regarding CDC resolution number 13, series of 2020, recommending for approval of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Panabo City the updated local development investment program calendar year 2019 to 2021. I so move, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Muamil, Honorable Carisma, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 107, 108, series, all series of 2020 on Committee on Finance and Appropriations is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, for the committee report number 109, series of 2020, same committee, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranay.
Okay, again, Honorable Ranain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to pass a resolution adopting committee report number 109, series of 2020, Committee on Finance and Appropriation regarding augmentation ordinance number 1, series of 2020 of Barangay Upper Likanan amounting to 55,000 pesos. I so move, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisara, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, and Honorable Ambasad.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody once again is interested. Therefore, debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendment.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 109, series 2020, Committee on Finance and Appropriations is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, once again, Honorable Presiding Officer, for his omnibus committee reports, can we do once again acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranay?
Okay, again, Honorable Ranay is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much. I move to pass an omnibus resolution adopting committee report number 110, series of 2020 of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation regarding Sangguniang Kabataan resolution number 3, series of 2019 of Barangay Quezon approving the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Quezon, Panabo City Yes, amounting to 573,412 pesos and 70 centavos. And report number 111, series of 2020, still on the same committee, regarding Sangguniang Kabataan Resolution number 3, series of 2019 of Barangay Buena Vista, approving the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Buena Vista, Panabo City, amounting to 217,063 pesos and 90 centavos. I so move, Mr. President.
Proceed by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Umisara, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Matutino, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody again seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 110, series 2020, and committee report number 111, series 2020, Committee on Finance and Appropriations, is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, this is the long record-breaking committee report. An omnibus one. Can you do once again recognize Honorable White Anain?
Okay, Honorable Anain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you again, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. Please bear with me. Mr. President, I would like to pass an omnibus resolution adopting committee report number 112, series of 2020, the Committee on Finance and Appropriation, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 50,000 pesos of the Liga ng mga Barangay of the City Mayor's Office. Report number 113, request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 60,000 pesos under the Cooperative Development section of the City Mayor's Office. Report number 114, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 500,000 pesos of the Scouting Program of the City Mayor's Office. Report number 115, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 320,000 pesos of the City Treasurer's Office. Report number 116, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 160,000 pesos of the Panabo City Investment Promotion Center of the City Administrator's Office. Report number 117, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 100,000 pesos of the Corriente Watch Program of the City Mayor's Office. Report number 118, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 350,000 pesos of the City Council of Women of the City Mayor's Office. Report number 119, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 70,000 pesos of the Tourism Promotion section of the City Administrator's Office. Report number 120, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 130,000 pesos of the Tourism Promotion section of the City Administrator's Office. Report number 121, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 380,000 pesos under the City Human Resource Management Office. Report number 122, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 90,000 pesos of the Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases Control Program of the City Health Office. Report number 123, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 65,762 pesos of the Panabo Outpatient and Safe Birthing Facility Operations of the City Health Office. Report number 124, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 243,600 pesos of the Population Management Program of the City Health Office. And report number 125, regarding request for augmentation of appropriation in the amount of 33,500 pesos of the Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases control program of the City Health Office. I so move, Mr. President.
Was to by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Misara, Honorable Banggoy, Honorable Notino, Honorable Hinteles, and Honorable Lamuwag.
Period of debate and deliberation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems again interested, therefore debate and deliberation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, and 125, all series 2020 on Committee on Finance. All Committee on Finance and Appropriations is hereby duly carried and approved.
For the end time, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, kindly do once again recognize Honorable Wahid Ranain for his omnibus committee reports.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Ranain.
Thank you so much. I move to pass an omnibus resolution adopting committee report number 126, series of 2020 of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation regarding appropriation ordinance number 1, series of 2019, embodying the calendar year 2020 annual budget of Barangay San Vicente amounting to 13,432,638 pesos, and report number 127, still on the same committee, regarding appropriation ordinance number 1, series of 2019, embodying the calendar year 2020 annual budget of Barangay San Pedro amounting to 7,500,000 pesos. I so move, Mr. President.
Was to by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisara, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Matino, Honorable Hinteles, and Honorable Ambasad.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody again seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendment.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments is now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 126 and 127, all series 2020, all Committee on Finance and Appropriations is hereby duly carried and approved.
Again, Honorable Presiding Officer, a joint committee report number 59 on behalf of the co-chairperson, Honorable Dibona Humamil. Can you do acknowledge the distinguished general from Barangay ni Visayas, Honorable Dison Namuwag?
Okay, Honorable Namuwag is now recognized by the chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. In behalf of my co-chair, the beautiful Honorable Attorney Dibona Humamil, I would like to pass a resolution requesting for authority the city mayor to enter into and to sign the collective negotiation agreement between the city of Panabo and Panabo City Hall Government Employees Association. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Namuwag, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran and Honorable Duhali.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendment.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report number 59, series 2020 on joint committees on good government, public ethics and accountabilities, and laws, justice, and human rights, fact-finding and investigation is hereby duly carried and approved.
For committee report number 4, series of 2020 from the Committee on Ways and Means Government Enterprise, kindly do acknowledge Honorable.
Okay, Honorable Hinteles is now recognized by the chair.
Good morning to each and everyone. On behalf of the Vice Chair on the Committee on Ways and Means and Government Enterprises and its members, Honorable Blase, Honorable Catalan, and Honorable Pamisaran, this humble representation would like to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report number 4, series of 2020, regarding the letter from Ryan S. Carvajal, D. Carvajal Fish and Meat Stall Owner, dated July 17, 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panglungsod for a legislative franchise for a mini talipapa at Purok 4, Southern Davao, Panabo City. I so move, Mr. President.
It was by Honorable Inteles, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Ambasan, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and deliberation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Kindly do acknowledge Honorable Renante Bangoy, Honorable
Okay.
Presiding Officer.
Honorable Bangoy is recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Based on the committee report, may I know from the proponent, are all necessary legal documents were submitted and presented during the committee meetings? And what are those documents that was already complied by the said Mini Talipapa, Mr. President?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Bangoy. Go ahead, Honorable Inteles.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Regarding the query of Honorable Bangoy, Mr. Carvajal has not yet complied all the documents requested for him to apply for a franchise. To mention a few, he has not complied the ECC, or the Environmental Compliance Certificate, or the CNC, which is the Certificate of Non-Compliance from the DNR, or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. And I think he has not yet complied the requirements requested by the city planning, which is the zoning certification. That's my answer, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Inteles. Go ahead, Honorable Bangoy.
Thank you, Mr. President. And it was in the minutes of the committee meeting when Mr. Rasco said that when the request of having for the approval for a franchise, he said that it's not in his office. He said that it's not, his office is not regulatory in nature, and there's nothing wrong with the application. However, that the legal documents must be complied with the prior establishment of the said Mini Talipapa, Mr. President. So for me, Mr. President, based on the recommended recommendation of the committee, having the said taking cognizance on such giving attention to something, the legislative franchise can be given if all necessary legal documents and requirements is established for the Mini Talipapa. But for this, Mr. President, taking cognizance is not, for me, would not be the correct recommendation. For me, there should be a denial of the said request, since there were documents should be complied. No, wala pa gyud nila na trabaho ni sila, wala pa na said. But this Mini Talipapa had been operating. May I know from the proponent, Mr. President?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Inteles.
Based on the on what Mr. Carvajal said during our committee hearing, Mr. Chair, it is already operating, but for franchise, because he expanded, I think he expanded his services.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Inteles. Go ahead, Honorable Bangoy.
Actually, for me, Mr. President, request Mini Talipapa.
Yes.
So that's why Mr. Carvajal wants to get this legislative franchise from our Sangguniang Panlungsod. But to think that there were no documents being presented as our legal basis in giving such legislative franchise, for this resolution, we will deny this as part of the recommendation. And if there were, kung naanay mga documents, legal documents, then pwede sila mo kuha na pod og another request for a legislative franchise. For me, that's all, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Banggoy. Are you amenable, Honorable Angeles, for the denial?
Absolutely, Mr. Chair. I am amenable. It is written in the findings in the committee report that the committee denies the application of Mr. Carvajal for legislative franchise, but the recommendation made by Honorable Pamisaran during the committee hearing was to take cognizance. That's why the presiding officer, in my behalf, recommended for to take cognizance of the letter from Mr. Carvajal. But I am amenable to the suggestion of Honorable Banggoy to deny the request of Mr. Carvajal so that it will be right and just for him to just request after he complies all the requirements so that we may abide by the law.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Angeles.
All right, at this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, the gentleman coming from Barangay Consolacion, Honorable Poloy Inad.
Okay, good, Honorable Inad.
Thank you for recognizing me as a resident of Barangay Consolacion, Majority Floor Leader. Mr. President, just a few questions to our proponent. It is well settled, Mr. President, that legislative franchise for the operation and establishment of markets and like may be granted by the Sanggunian through an ordinance, no? Upon majority of the members of this august body. And it may be only denied on the ground when it is inimical to the public welfare. Now, Mr. President, what is being presented before this august body is taking cognizance in connection to the question of the good gentleman from Barangay Gredu, Honorable Banggoy. May I ask from the proponent, is the act of taking cognizance constitute denial of the request?
Thank you, Honorable Inad. Good, Honorable Angeles.
I think not, Mr. Chair.
Okay, good, Honorable Inad.
Because if it is not in denial, so we should presume that we are now approving the request, Mr. President.
Okay, good, Honorable Angeles.
Mr. Chair, I stated a while ago na I am going to amend the committee report during the new business. So I will state that I will deny the request of Mr. Carvajal.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Angeles. Any more, Honorable Inad?
Now, if this act of taking cognizance, Mr. President, is an act of denying the request for legislative franchise, will this not violate the declaration under the local government code that the local government unit may only regulate and not prohibit certain activities, particularly the operation establishment of mini talipapa o Purok 4, Southern Davao, Mr. President?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Inad. Good, Honorable Angeles.
Mr. President, we will deny the request of Mr. Carvajal to the fact that he has not complied with all the requirements. That's why we are denying his request. Upon the compliance of all the requirements, then he will just reapply for another legislative franchise.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Angeles. Any more, Honorable Inad?
Mr. President, will the proponent also agree with me that as one of the proper action of this august body, instead of denying, aside from denying, we should also recommend the findings of this august body, the findings, particularly the lack of compliance of the requirements for the operation of mini talipapa, and to the local chief executive for proper action.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Anad. Honorable Inteles?
Mr. Chair, it is already stated in the committee report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Honorable Anad?
So the proponent is now saying, Mr. President, that we will not recommend the findings established by this August body during the committee hearing to the local chief executive for proper action.
You're saying resolution for closure to the local chief executive?
Recommending to the LCE the findings of the letter request of Carbajal for appropriate action, Mr.
Okay,
President.
thank you. Okay,
Okay.
Honorable Inteles?
I will add that to the committee report, Mr.
Okay.
Chair, in the findings.
With that, Mr. President, I do. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank you,
Chair.
Honorable Anad.
All right. This juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, Honorable Dizon Amuwag would like to say something clarificatory.
Okay, good, Honorable Namuwag.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. I just want to ask the proponent, the Talipapa has been already existing,
Yes, sir.
okay? While they're still applying for that legislative franchise. I am just only curious with the word mini Talipapa. Has there been any particular specific description of what is mini and what is not?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Namuwag. Okay. Go ahead, Honorable Inteles. Is it yours mini or no?
Mr. Chair, mini talipapa or a talipapa is, for me, the same because talipapa is considered a talipapa or a market, a talipapa, if it has less than 150 stalls. So, diha na gyud mao gyud na ang kuan sa HLURB.
Okay, talipapa is talipapa regardless
terminology.
is big or small.
Opo.
Okay. Talipupu. Okay, go ahead, Honorable Namuwag.
Okay, I just want to ask also again the proponent. As you said, so that the applicant has not complied or submitted the requirements of which he will be given the legislative franchise. If so, then that he has been operating and he will not be given the legislative franchise, what should you recommend? Is there an effect of a certain stoppage of operation? The same way then with some other talipapa from other barangays that I suppose whether, okay, stop muna tayo doon. Paano kung hindi talaga siya maka-comply? Should the government or should you recommend as a committee chairperson on this be ceased or be stopped from their operations?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Namuwag. Okay, go ahead, Honorable Inteles.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For us legislators, we cannot stop Mr. Carvajal in his business, but we can recommend to the local chief executive for the right execution to do if he wants the talipapas to stop or not. It is in his discretion, but I would recommend to the local chief executive to do the right action.
I think that's the one of the as suggested by Honorable Anad.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Inteles. Go ahead, Honorable Namuwag.
Okay, last questions.
Okay, go ahead.
With all candidness, our city government does not have any market code. Can we grant legislative franchise even if we don't still have the market code?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Inteles.
Mr. Chair, we can grant a legislative franchise even though we don't have a market code, but it requires the 2/3 votes of the city council.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Inteles. Any more, Honorable Namuwag?
That's all, Mr. President.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, debate and deliberations now close up in the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said, any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting Committee Report Number 4, Series 2020, Committee on Ways and Means and Government Enterprises is hereby duly carried and approved.
At this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, kindly do acknowledge the distinguished gentleman from Barangay San Francisco, Honorable Conrad Theodore Matutino.
Honorable Matutino is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and of course to ang Majority Floor Leader. And a pleasant morning to each and everyone. And this humble representation, Mr. Chair, would like to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 18, Series of 2020, Committee on Barangay Affairs, with regards to the Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Financial Plan, Calendar Year 2020 of Barangay Cutoy, Panabo City, amounting to 151,430 pesos and 45 centavos. I so move, Mr. President.
To Honorable Matutino, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Hinteles, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Carisma, and Honorable Amisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections on the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting Committee Report Number 18, Series 2020, Committee on Barangay Affairs is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, done with our committee reports. We are going to proceed now to the adoption of the agenda. We have the calendared business of the day. We have none for the unfinished business. We have 24 items for the new business, and we have 2 for the unassigned business. Now, therefore, I so move, Mr. President.
It was by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Enad. Any comment, Honorable Amisaran, any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion
For the adoption.
the motion adopting the agenda of the 36th regular session of the 8th City Council with 2 inclusions is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, first to deliver his proposed resolutions, an omnibus one, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Anain.
Honorable Anain is recognized by the Chair.
Thank you again, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass an omnibus resolution approving the integration of the priorities identified by the local school board per LSB Resolution Number 4, Series of 2020 to the updated Local Development Investment Program, calendar year 2019 to 2021, and approving the updated Local Development Investment Program, calendar year 2019 to 2021 as per CDC Resolution Number 13, Series of 2020. I so move, Mr. President.
It was by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma.
Period of debate and deliberation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and deliberation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 234 and 235, all series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Mr. President. Supporting the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Hinteles, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, and Honorable Ranain, the proponent. All voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 234 and 235, all series 2020, is hereby duly carried and approved.
Once again, Honorable Presiding Officer, for the second time, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Anain.
Okay, Honorable Ranain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you again, Mr. President. I move to pass a resolution confirming augmentation ordinance number 1, series of 2020 of Barangay Upper Likanan, amounting to 55,000 pesos. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran and Honorable Ambasan.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting committee report, those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 236 series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Supporting the motion, we have Honorable Blase, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Hinteles, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Ranain, the proponent. So all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 236 series 2020 is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture for his omnibus resolution, can we do once again acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranain?
Okay, Honorable Ranain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass an omnibus resolution declaring the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Quezon, Panabo City amounting to 573,412 pesos and 70 centavos, and the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Buena Vista, Panabo City amounting to 217,063 pesos and 90 centavos, operative in its entirety. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Misara, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, and Honorable Lamuag, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendment.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 237 and 238, all series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Favoring the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Attorney Enad in favor, and of course the proponent, Honorable Ranain. Again, all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 237, 238, all series 2020 is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, this is the record-breaking Omnibus 1.
No, not yet. 6 and 7 pa.
Yeah, after this one. Okay. All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, can you do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranain?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Ranain.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Again, I move to pass an omnibus resolution declaring the appropriation ordinance number 1 series of 2019 embodying the calendar year 2020 annual budget of Barangay San Vicente, Panabo City amounting to 13,432,638 pesos, and appropriation ordinance number 1 series of 2019 embodying the calendar year 2020 annual budget of Barangay San Pedro, Panabo City amounting to 7,500,000 pesos, operative in its entirety. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Misara, Honorable Umamil, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, and Honorable Ambasan, and Honorable Catalan.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 239 and 240, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Mr. President. Supporting the motion, we have Honorable Namuag, Your hands, please. Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Attorney Enad, and of course the proponent, Honorable Ranain. Again, all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 239 and 240, all series 2020, is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, at this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, on behalf of his co-chair, kindly do acknowledge the lead committee chairman, Honorable Dison Namuwag.
Okay, Honorable Namuwag is now recognized by the chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to pass a resolution number 241, the series of 2020, authorizing the City Mayor Jose E. Relampagos to enter and sign the collective negotiation agreement between the City of Panabo and Panabo City Hall Government Employees Association, or PCHJA. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Namuwag, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Bangoy, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 241, series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Voting in favor to the motion, we have the proponent, Honorable Namuwag. We have Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran in favor, Honorable Attorney Humamil, and Honorable Attorney Honorable Ranain in favor. So all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 241, series 2020, is hereby duly carried and approved.
Okay, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Jano Paulo Hintiles.
Okay, Honorable Hintiles is now recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Floor Leader. This humble representation would pass a resolution number 242 series of 2020, taking cognizance the letter from Ryan S. Carvajal, Carvajal Fish and Meat Stall owner, dated July 17, 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod for a legislative franchise for a mini Talipapa at Purok 4, Southern Davao, Panabo City. I so move, Mr. Chair.
To sue by Honorable Hintiles, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Duhali, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Honorable Presiding Officer, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Renante Bangoy.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Bangoy.
Thank you, Mr. President. For this matter, Mr. President, for me, we should deny the said request since there were legal document was not submitted, and the request being presented, being request for the Sangguniang Panlungsod is a legislative franchise for a mini Talipapa. So I go for the denial for the said request.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Bangoy. Honorable Hintiles, I think it's for in the amendment portion, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, it was amendable a while ago.
Now, therefore, period of debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Honorable proponent.
Okay, good. Honorable Hintiles.
Mr. Chair, I would like to amend the proposed resolution number 242. Instead of taking cognizance, I would like to make it denying the letter denying the letter from Ryan S. Carvajal, the Carvajal Fish. Letter request from Ryan S. Carvajal, the Carvajal Fish and Meat Stall owner, dated July 17, 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panglungsod for a legislative franchise for a mini talipapa at Purok 4, Southern Davao, Panabo City. And also, Mr. Chair, I would like to add a whereas. Whereas the committee recommends the findings to be forwarded to the local chief executive for consideration and appropriate action.
So move.
I so move, Mr. Chair.
To move by Honorable Inteles, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Amuwag, Honorable Bangoy, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Debate and interpellation is now open.
Amendment, we're in the amendment portion. Any
yeah.
comments? Sorry. Any comments? Amendments? Objections? Hearing none, the motion changing the word taking cognizance to denial, and one whereas and another whereas, adding one whereas, giving, recommending to the local chief executive for appropriate action based on the recommendation is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, for 2/3 votes, period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 242 series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Mr. President. Favoring the motion, we have, of course, the proponent, Honorable Intiles. We have Honorable Namuag, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Attorney Humamil, Honorable Ranain, and Honorable Pamisaran. All voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 242 series 2020 is hereby duly carried and approved with amendments.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, once again, kindly do acknowledge the distinguished gentleman from Barangay San Francisco, Honorable Conrad Theodore Matutino.
Okay, good, Honorable Matutino.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. A resolution, a proposed resolution number 243, series of 2020 be passed, confirming the Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Financial Plan Calendar Year 2020 of Barangay Cutoy, Panabo City, amounting to 151,434 pesos and 45 centavos. I so move, Mr. President.
To assume by Honorable Matutino, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Inteles, Honorable Carisma, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 243 series 2020, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Mr. President. Favoring the motion, we have, of course, the proponent, Honorable Matutino. We have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Ranain, Honorable Pamisaran, and Honorable Attorney Humamil in favor. So all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed solution number 243, Series 2020 is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, a record-breaking omnibus resolution. Kindly do again acknowledge the distinguished gentleman from Barangay Visayas, Honorable Wahid Ranay.
Okay, good, Honorable Ranay.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass an omnibus augmentation ordinance entitled Authorizing the City Mayor Jose A. Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 50,000 pesos under the Liga ng mga Barangay of the City Mayor's Office. Authorizing the City Mayor Jose A. Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 60,000 pesos under the Cooperatives Development section of the City Mayor's Office. Authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 500,000 pesos under the Scouting Program of the City Mayor's Office. Authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 320,000 pesos under the City Treasurer's Office. And another one is authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 160,000 pesos under the Panabo City Investment Promotion Center of the City Administrator's Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 100,000 pesos under the Corriente Watch Program of the City Mayor's Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 350,000 pesos under the City Council of Women of the City Mayor's Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 70,000 pesos under the Tourism Promotion section of the City Administrator's Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 130,000 pesos under the Tourism Promotion section of the City Administrator's Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 380,000 pesos under the City Human Resource Management Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 90,000 pesos under the Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases Control Program of the City Health Office. Another one is authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 65,762 pesos under the Panabo Outpatient and Safe Birthing Facility Operations of the City Health Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 243,600 pesos under the Population Management Program of the City Health Office. And authorizing the City Mayor Jose Relampagos to augment funds in the amount of 33,500 pesos under the Communicable and Non-Communicable Disease Control Program of the City Health Office. I so move, Mr. President.
To by Honorable Ranain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Inteles, Honorable Ambasan, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said Augmentation Ordinance number 41 to Augmentation Ordinance to 53, all series 2020. Can you please raise your hand, Madam Secretary? Can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Voting in favor to the Augmentation Ordinance, we have Honorable Blase, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Inteles, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Attorney Humanel, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, and of course the proponent, Honorable Ranain. Again, all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The Augmentation Ordinances number 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, and 53, all series in 2020, is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, done with the assigned business. Now we are now on the unassigned business. First to deliver, once again, kindly do acknowledge for item C.6, Honorable Wahid Ranain.
Okay, again, Honorable Ranain is not recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Under the item C.6, Mr. President, I would like to pass an augmentation ordinance authorizing the City Vice Mayor John Ray Biboy Gabina to augment funds in the amount of 568,000 pesos of the Legislative Network Tracking Program of the Sangguniang Panlungsod Office under the locally funded projects. I so move, Mr. President.
To sub Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Enad, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Inteles, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said augmentation ordinance, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Voting in favor to the motion, we have Honorable Blase, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Attorney Enad, in favor, Honorable Attorney Humamil, and of course the proponent, Honorable Ranain. Again, all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The augmentation ordinance amounting to 568 pesos under the Sangguniang Panlungsod Office is hereby duly carried and approved.
For item C.7, taken out from the referral, can we do acknowledge Honorable Mawe Pamisaran?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Pamisaran.
Letter coming from Pedrito. Dodong Pedrito.
Thank you, Mr. President, and to our Majority Floor Leader. Mr. President, the resolution be passed. This is with regards to the letter from Pedrito Imisolis, City Administrator, dated September 1, 2020, forwarding the list of the 120 qualified and eligible applicants for the Scholar ng Lungsod program of the City Government of Panabo for SY 2020-2021 for confirmation, Mr. Chair. I so move.
To sub Honorable Pamisaran, duly seconded by Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Anain, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Hinteles, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said resolution, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you again, Mr. President. Supporting the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Hinteles, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Blase, Honorable Dato Ambasan, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Homamil, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Ranain, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Catalan, in favor, and of course the proponent, Honorable Pamisaran. So all voted favorably, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The motion confirming the 120 qualified and eligible applicants for the Scholar ng Lungsod program to City Government of Panabo for school year 2020-2021 is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, done with the unassigned business, Honorable Presiding Officer. We have no business for the third and final reading. It's announcement portion. Yeah, anybody who wants? Honorable Wendell Enad.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Enad.
To the members of the Committee on Health and Sanitation, please be advised that we will be having a committee hearing today, September 7 at 2 p.m. We will be discussing, deliberating the face mask, the pending face mask ordinance, as well as the increase of BNS honorarium. That's all, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Enad.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, can you acknowledge the beautiful Honorable Dibona Humamil?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Humamil.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer and our Majority Floor Leader. To all the members of the Committee on Laws and Finance and Appropriations. We will be having an urgent committee meeting today after our lunch. Thank you.
Okay,
Alright.
thank you, Honorable Mamil.
To the Secretary, to the Sangguniang, there's nothing. It's your time, Honorable Presiding Officer.
No announcement from the Chair. Thank you.
If that is the case, at exactly 12:22, according to my watch, I move for the adjournment. I so move, Mr.
Pursued
President.
by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Ambasan, Honorable Charisma. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, session adjourned exactly 12:22 p.m.